Hey there, CG Math students. Welcome to math test number 47A, solve and graph compound inequalities. A compound inequality is simply an inequality that combines two simple inequalities. So for instance, they can be connected by this word and you're basically going to have two graphs that join together. You can be having a compound inequality separated by the word or, where you have two graphs that separate from each other, or you can have compound inequalities where they look like they're one long one, and in fact, you just separate them up into two. So let's do the first three together. The first thing you want to understand is, all right, you're going to solve two inequalities right here. So write these off to the side. Make sure to copy the inequality exactly correctly. There's a lot to keep track of. And then solve them. So m plus 2 less than 12. We're adding negative 2 to both sides. I didn't multiply or divide by negative, so therefore my inequality sign stays the same. That solution is anything less than 10. And then over here, all I'm doing is dividing by 4 on both sides. Again, I didn't multiply or divide by negative, so my inequality sign stays the same. I have m is greater than 8, right? So I have something where m is going to be any number that is in between 10 and 8, right? So like this graph was 10 open circle going this way. This graph was 8 open circle going this way, and you'll notice that those two intersect, right? You get B as your answer. Anything greater than 8 but less than 10 is part of my solution. Number 2, we have B plus 7 greater than 13, or 5B less than or equal to negative 45. So solve the first one by adding negative 7 to both sides. I didn't multiply or divide by negative, so my inequality sign stays the same, b greater than 6. And then this one, divide by 5 on both sides. Again, I did not multiply or divide by negative, so my inequality sign stays the same, b less than or equal to negative 9. So this graph right here at 6 is an open circle pointed right. This graph right here at negative 9 is a closed circle pointed to the left. The first number that it interacts with is negative 10, right? First number this interacts with at 7. So my answer in this one is going to be A, open circle to the right, and closed circle to the left. This means everything above 6 and over is part of my solution, and then everything below, including negative 9 and down, is part of my solution. And the next type of problem you can see is negative 9 less than negative 3m less than 21, right? So in problems like this, you need to split it up. So your first inequality happens right after the variable, right there, right? So it's negative 9 less than negative 3m. Erase that line. Your second inequality happens right before the variable, right after that other inequality sign. And that's negative 3m less than 21. So maybe if I highlight this again, we can see it. So here's your first inequality, negative 9 less than negative 3m. And here's your second inequality, negative 3m less than negative 21. Basically, the inequality sign separates the two different inequalities. So let's go ahead and solve this. So in this one, I am going to divide by negative 3. Alert, alert, dividing by negative 3. You're going to make sure to flip the sign. So negative 9 divided by negative 3, positive 3. Flip the sign, greater than m, right? And on this one, negative 3 less than 21. Again, dividing by negative 3. Alert, alert, flip the sign. M is greater than negative 7. So we got our graph here of 3. That's an open circle. M greater than 3, or read it backwards, any number less than 3. So that's going this way. And here at negative 7, m greater than negative 7. That's any number greater than negative 7. Remember, if I go more negative, that's less than, so I go more positive. All right, so basically, if you think about these two graphs are going to run into each other, right? Because any number greater than negative 7 is eventually going to get to 3. And any number less than 3 is eventually going to get to negative 7. So your correct answer here is C, right? These two graphs eventually will intersect. And my solution is all the numbers in between negative 7 all the way up into 3. Now how they write that is exactly this, right? So they put m right in the middle. And they say, okay, m has to be greater than negative 7. Put the smaller number first, but less than 3. And that is your solution right there. We'll have a lot of practice with this today.